Welcome, everybody. CD12 will not be here. I don't see any of our senior leads here. Captain, do you want to say a few words?
Certainly.
Come on in.
Thank you for having us. It's been a while since we've been out to a meeting to say hi, but once again, it's brush clearance season. So I thought I'd stop in and drop off some brochures in case anybody needs it. My name is Joe Sabados. I'm one of the station commanders here at Fire Station 18 over on Balboa and Knollwood, right by the golf course over there. So I just want to drop off some brochures, answer any questions that someone may have. I know some of this area is the high fire zone, which we starting our annual inspections in those areas. If anybody has any questions on how that process works or needs some help with an issue, you can contact us anytime. There's an 800 number on the brochures, or if you need some personal help, call me at the fire station. We'll be happy to help you. And I want to say thank you to the board again. They donated some money to us once again, and we really appreciate that.
Well, a lot of people don't know that with public safety in the city of Los Angeles, I think it's 94% of the city budget for fire and police go to salaries, and the other 6%, the departments have to live without stuff because they can't get it from the city. So we're always glad to try to help you guys with
Yeah, we try and maintain it. The station is going to be 50 years old next year, so it's kind of getting, showing his age a little bit. So we're trying
come on, Captain, give me a break. It's 20 years younger than I am. Whoa, that hurt a little bit.
We're rehabbing it. That works for everybody.
Yeah.
But we try and maintain it the best we can. We just had our annual inspection, did a lot of work around there. Kind of proud of what we've done so far. So, got a lot of dedicated guys like these two over here that put a lot of time and effort on their own into maintaining that station at our own cost. The city doesn't reimburse us for a lot of what we do. So.
That's why we're always glad to help when we can.
And we really appreciate it. So thank you.
Are you fully staffed there?
Yes, we have one engine and a rescue ambulance, so there's 6 people there every day. There's not much room for anymore. So, but we're actually in an old fire engine. It's a 1996, so it's actually 20-something years old. It's still in our fleet. Our frontline engine broke. The pump wore out on it. So, and it's 14 years old.
I don't know whether a lot of you know, but it was like two years ago, the day before our meeting, we had a brush fire up here. And these guys run it so quick, it stayed to like 1 or 2 acres. So.
Yeah, I think the biggest fire we've had here is the high water fire from a couple of years ago.
Right.
That was about 40 acres.
And that had a lot of fuel to burn if they would have gone any farther. So you guys were on it in a minute. So.
And this year, it's really important. We had a lot of rain for a change. There's a lot of fine grass and things that are grown out there. You probably noticed it as you're driving around. It's turning. It's turning into.
Those beautiful green hills are now a fire danger.
Take a picture of it because it doesn't last very long. So. But we're happy to be here and thank you for your support.
Thank you. Thanks, Cap.
Okay.
Anybody that wants to, the engine is just about 20 feet that away.
Happy to show you around. And you can stop in the station. It's your station anytime during the year. Knock on the door. We're happy to show you around. Give you directions, whatever you need. Thanks. We have to run some equipment at another station, so we're heading out.
Thanks again for everything.
Okay. Our pleasure. Thanks for letting me talk.
I think that's it for government. Oh, yes, sir.
Good evening, board members, stakeholders. I'm Barry Stone.
Oh my God, Barry, I did not recognize you without a tie on. I am so sorry.
I actually when I'm.
My apologies.
People don't seem to recognize me. But good evening, guys, stakeholders. I'm Barry Stone with the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment. We're the department that oversees the 97 neighborhood councils now. We just actually, 2 weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago, approved the 97 neighborhood councils in the urban community, in neighboring Chinatown. So they're the newest neighborhood council. Brief updates. I've been working on your bylaw amendments. You guys have a date scheduled for June 19th at City Hall at the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners meeting at 1 p.m. So if you please put that on your calendars. Michael, if you're going to represent the board there, it's going to be 10th floor, City Council, 10th floor City Hall in one of the committee meeting rooms.
What day is that again?
The 19th at 1 p.m. June 19th. All right, so just come prepared to answer the questions you submitted in the application. I went ahead and approved the changes. However, it's not up to me to finalize that. The board of commissioners have to finalize the structure changes. All right.
Well, somebody else is gonna have to do it, because.
I'll be there.
Cool, great.
Brian can answer, because I can't quite tell my boss that I don't want to meet with him that day.
We've been sending out emails asking you guys to weigh in on extending neighborhood council your term for at least 1 year because of the elections being pushed by the city clerk. There's been 20 neighborhood councils who have responded. 13 of those 20 have requested that their terms be extended at least 1 year. But there still is time if you guys want to weigh in on that. We're still drafting a report to city council along with the city clerk.
Yeah, I had a question about that. It seems to me that the terms that the neighborhood council board members were elected to were set at the time of the election, so it's a 2-year term when they're elected. The voters didn't approve them to go out for 3 years, so I'm wondering, basically just on what basis are you arbitrarily extending this?
The basis is that in the current budget that's proposed, the current mayoral budget that was proposed, he cut neighborhood council funding for elections. So because there's no funding, in addition to the city clerk is going to be swamped with elections in 2020. That's why they're trying to switch over to an odd number year, because your election typically fall in an even number year, and because of that, they're going to be swamped with municipal elections, and they're not going to have enough staff to do both elections. Greg Good, he's the mayor's chief legislative and external affairs deputy, as well as Ben Winters, he's from the Office of Mayor's Economic Opportunity. They're going around to different different neighborhood council alliances to talk about Council File 1702-74. Basically, they want to get input from neighborhood councils to establish an affordable housing linkage fee for developers, for projects to be placed in the housing impact trust that will go in addition to the Triple H funds that work to help homeless individuals, provide services and housing for those folks. So they're going to be going around to different alliances to kind of get your feedback in regards to this proposal that the mayor's trying to push.
Jan, does Plum know about this?
I got an email thing.
Yeah, I'll make sure to bring it up to the next meeting. I actually had a question since you're here. How is it supposed to work in that you're increasing fees on developers, and how does increasing fees make them develop more?
I don't have an answer for you, but if you attend one of those alliances, those are the folks who are going to be proposing this policy. So you can get the answer for them.
Thank you.
And finally, you guys probably got an email. It's not spam. It's asking you to fill out a survey for inventory. A lot of folks.
I thought it was spam.
A lot of folks.
I wasn't either.
A lot of my groups been email. Hey, is this from you guys? It's not actually a survey. It's actually just basically setting a time for staff to come out to your office to sit with you and go over the inventory you guys have in your office. All right, so if you guys can fill it out and give them a date and time that they can come out to you, that'd be greatly appreciated. Other than that, that's all the announcements I have for you guys. Any questions for me?
Why does staff have to come out and do the inventory?
I can't hear you.
Why does the staff have to come do the inventory?
Oh, Because,
We've done ourselves for several years, how come the change?
well, you were probably one of 97 who's done it then.
Okay,
So that's why.
so we don't have to.
Well, just talk to them, submit the inventory to them, they can go over it, and they'll let you know.
You're saying staff, who is
It's
this?
another we don't trust you.
Corey Parias and Kathleen Quinn, and then they have some interns that's been helping them out. They just started doing this. They've been out all this week, meeting with neighborhood councils that's already felt surveyed and giving them time to meet with them. So they've been out doing that this week. All right. Thanks, sir.
Hey, Gary?
Yes.
Very nice to see you.
Likewise.
And the answer to the question that people asked you, this is the city of Los Angeles. Don't confuse us with that, our mind is already made up. You can use that at your leisure. All right, first of all, folks, I did not apologize. I'm so sorry. When we talked to Karen today and got the keys, she had no idea that they had 150 people over here. And so it was a lot easier to move 40 people than 150. So I'm very sorry about the cramped quarters. I apologize to the board. We did not know it when it was going on. So, is there any public comment?
Non-agenda?
Non-agenda.
Yeah, I got one.
I have a person up here to raise their hand first. It's 2 minutes.
I'll be short, Madam Chair. I am a horse owner and rider up here in the area, and for a number of years I've been trying to find anybody to help us get the guardrails on the trails fixed. They're dangerous to our horses, they're dangerous to the riders, and the one we managed to get fixed that is part of the property for the gated community, but the ones that are not part of the gated community's property, no one wants to take responsibility for them. And I have gone to Englander's office, and I talked to Parks and Rec, I've talked to street maintenance. I can't get anybody to take responsibility for it. And if you guys can help in any way to get that, get a hold of somebody that can fix those for us.
Jan,
The property owner's responsibility.
yeah, it's the property owner's responsibility.
We're building a safety.
But however, we have a very, very wonderful lady that, she's not here tonight, but she's one of the co-chairs of Planning and Land Use. And if you will leave me a contact phone number, I will make sure that she gets it. And she's a horse person also. So Agnes Lewis, she lives on Maryland, so she'll probably.
I ride with her daughter frequently.
Oh, okay, well then just give Agnes a call.
Okay,
There you go. And, we fully support, the maintenance of those.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, I also ride horses. I've been riding for 11 years. I ride out in summer. I'll talk to Agnes and try to help get that pushed along. I understand.
Yeah, this is the first time I've heard that it's actually that property owner's responsibility, and then for me to go knock on somebody's door and say, hey, can you fix the bridle, the bridle path, they're gonna tell me to go get stuff. So.
Well, I think Agnes will probably have some kind of a way to do it, so.
Great.
Okay. William?
Oh, there was someone else before me, too. This lady right here.
Oh, hi, I'm sorry.
Hi there. My name's Taylor Pascal, and I'm representing CASA Los Angeles. We're a nonprofit that works to recruit, train, and support court-appointed special advocates for children in the foster care system. And I'm just here kind of telling you that I am Taylor, and I am your representative, your recruitment representative in the San Fernando Valley and the Santa Clarita Valley. We're actually going to be having a recruitment event to learn more about what we do and how you can get involved in Canoga Park at the end of the month. And I left some brochures over there as well as some flyers.
And what do you recruit for?
So we recruit community members to be court-appointed special advocates for these kids that are in the foster care system. Yeah. It's a longer discussion, and I don't want to take up any of your.
And if you will give us, we're discussing this, or going to be discussing this in the next month or so. But give us the date and everything, forward it to me, and we'll at least put it on our calendar for you.
That'd be wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Okay,
And
thanks.
how long is the information meeting?
So this one coming up is actually kind of a longer one that we're holding. It's 2 hours. But I do information sessions all over the San Fernando Valley around 4 times a month. And those are usually an hour and 15 minutes. And they're sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes in the evening to kind of try to accommodate those who work, those who might be retired. So yeah, if you're interested, definitely grab a brochure and there's contact information on it. Thank you guys.
Thank you very much. William?
Great. Hi, everyone. I hope you had a good Memorial Day and a good last weekend, too. I went to the senior dance Friday night over at Northridge Park. This was one of the events that this neighborhood council sponsored and nominated Mr. Hopkins for Senior of the Year award. Bill, sorry I missed you, but they did mention your name, so congratulations. They had 2 other people that were awarded that senior acknowledgement. I'm disappointed there's no minutes here tonight because I had something I wanted to talk about on that, but I guess I'm going to have to do it kind of here under non-agenda items. And just to kind of be brief, you know, I have a very, very difficult job as a public advocate because I'm always the bad guy. I always have to point the finger if something's not kosher in my mind's eye with regard to the laws and the rules that govern our public officials. There's a president up there, Mr. Roosevelt, that wrote something in about 1906, and evidently people are reinvigorating this statement he made on the internet, on Facebook, because it's all about him asking the public to criticize him so that he knows what he should or should not be doing and what the pulse is. And he also said to not criticize would be to be unpatriotic, to stay silent. So one of the reasons why I do speak up and it sounds like complaining is because I'm just kind of doing what our politicians want us to do. And I know there's a lot more of people now voicing their complaints against our new president, and they're having no problem voicing those complaints. So,
Excuse me,
you know,
do not
interrupt my
into
public
this.
comment. I can say whatever I want up here. Please
Sure
keep
you
in mind.
can, but don't start.
wait,
No,
you get-
no,
Mr.
we
Green,
don't
would you
have
get
to
a hold
start
of him for a
making a
second?
political statement
Get a
here.
hold of him for a second.
This is
please.
neighborhood council.
Mr. Hunter,
My time will
Public comment, you
restart
can say whatever
when
you
you
want.
stay quiet.
William, I'll give you another 30 seconds.
Thank you very much. So one of the concerns I brought up was regarding completion of documents regarding neighborhood purpose grants and something last month with the street fair. And I requested a public record of this document, and I noticed there were 2 different numbers on it. There was a 2,000 number twice in the body and a 2,500 number somewhere else. It also says that there was supposed to be a copy of their IRS exemption letter attached. Brian, I don't know if you have the exemption letter.
I do,
That
and I
I
can
didn't
show
get
it
a
to you.
copy of, in which case then, great, we're in compliance. But I would really think with these neighborhood purpose grants that they should be complete. I mean, as parents, we're responsible for
That's it,
teaching.
William.
Okay, very good, but I think it's just something we should have as public document
William?
when they're voted on.
And I will tell you, you know, William says that, you know, he's the bad guy, but I will tell you that Mr. Kuzman has made me a better president of this board because he does bring up stuff that is correct, and in the next minutes or the next agendas I put out, we correct it, and I think it's made our council a lot better, even though you can grind on some. Okay? Any other public comment? All right, hearing none, let's move ahead. A motion to approve the May 2nd board minutes. As corrected.
Oh, no,
As
as long as you
corrected.
have it. See, I
Oscar
assume I have a
moves.
public records
Bill
act because
seconds.
I'm getting everything.
All in favor?
And I'm
You can ask for the MPG.
yeah, but see, that's part of the
6,
MPG because it says it's
9,
attached.
10.
Okay,
Splitting hairs.
Yeah.
Semantics, if you
Brian?
will, better. Go.
Approved minutes?
Meeting.
Say yes.
Yes,
Approved minutes?
yes.
Are there minutes?
Sorry.
Where are the minutes?
Okay.
Mike,
It's 14.
where are the minutes?
Huh?
There's no copies back here.
They were not printed out this time.
How can we approve
You guys
minutes
have
if we don't have?
You
You
don't,
guys
we
have your
do.
binder?
We have a copy for you right here, William.
We approve.
Again, when I said I didn't have a copy of the minutes, I should have gotten one because I wanted to see what was approved.
All right. Motion carries 14-0.
Just one of them.
All right, the executive committee, motion to approve Kyle Ellis as our board secretary. Picking up for Donna. Oh, I'm sorry, EP item, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Each month, we have an emergency preparedness item for you to take and make part of your kit, as well as printed material that's available for you. I did bring one up to show because I think everybody knows what uniform gloves look like. So there's a pair back there. Make sure you get a pair on your way out. It's part of what a neighborhood council does to promote emergency preparedness and disaster awareness. Also, a lot of the printed sheets will give you information about what's safe in your refrigerator and freezer after a disaster, mounted nuclear safety checklist, how to protect your home when you're away from home, and lots of great stuff, including child ID and a fingerprint kit. For any that have kids or perhaps grandkids, it's a really good opportunity, just in case something happens. If you got any questions, see me after the meeting.
Mike, I wanted to make a public comment on the minutes, and they've been approved already.
William, I will allow you to make public comment.
It's after the fact, so this is a little, I can make my point. One of the reasons why I wanted to look at the minutes before they were approved was to see what they said.
I will recall the vote, okay? Make your point.
That's okay, I can make my point because it's for future so that it's more meaningful. As I said in my non-agenda item, because I didn't have minutes, that this motion that was made, I objected to the wording on the agenda. And I know your minutes are not verbatim, but the way the Brown Act law says, if I'm to take action to attempt to nullify any action of the board for a Brown Act violation, I must state my objection at the public meeting. If the fact that I made a public comment is not mentioned in the minutes, whether it be verbatim or not, I spoke against the item, I spoke for the item, whatever it might be, it needs to be in there so that if an action needs to be taken, there's a public record of what was stated. Okay? So for record keeping in the future.
Kyle is our new secretary. We'll try to do that.
Thank you.
We'll have to retrain him.
Okay. All right. So again, motion to lay the job of the secretary on this.
Quick, before he changes his mind.
All in favor? 1, 2,
Is there a
3,
motion?
4, 5, 6.
Is
Yeah,
someone-
it's from the executive committee. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So moved. Okay, the next item on the motion, I am recusing myself, and I will leave the room as I am a Los Angeles police officer in the Reserve Corps. So even though we'll tell you, I don't like Davis because I have to qualify there every 2 months, and they're merciless. Anyway, it's Sergeant Arkin.
Okay, this is a motion.
Makes my leave, Ray. Let me get up.
He can hear, he just can't be visible.
This is a motion from the executive committee to approve a neighborhood purpose grant to the Parker Foundation for up to $4,950 for equipment for the EVOC cadre and supplies for construction in the tactics training area of the LAPD Davis Training Center, which is the one up past the Odyssey. Any questions or comments?
Call for a second first.
Okay. Do I have a second first?
Second.
Don't have to. Any of the motions that come from any of the committees automatically do not require a second. Only motions that come from the floor require a second. All
So back to
He's
comments.
challenged by Mr. Kuzma.
As long as it's coming from the executive committee, right?
Any committee.
No, if the committee has, if the committee.
Yes.
No. If the committee has a stakeholder on the committee, there must be a second. It's only if the committee is made up solely of board members. In which
It's
case,
solely board
it's
members.
executive and it's solely board members, so it's okay.
Okay, but no second
Simple.
needed. Bill, you had a comment?
I didn't object.
Yeah, I would want to know what the stuff is. Equipment and supplies. Like to know what equipment and what supplies.
I don't have answers. Anybody else have an answer
Put it
for
on the
that?
NPG?
Yeah, that's a good
Should I ask
question.
Michael
Bill.
that's up? Because he can't advocate on it or hear the discussion, but he might have that information.
But,
No, he cannot discuss it,
Right.
period.
no.
No question.
I don't have it. I don't have it.
No? All right, so I guess we table the motion then? Or can we table it?
Are there any other options?
Well, one thing,
Because it's up to, it could be
I don't, personally, I don't see anything wrong with Michael answering questions from the
It can't be
board.
part of the discussion, obviously.
I believe that part of the idea was that this is from the executive meeting, they wanted to put a, I guess, a viewing platform up on the hill, so that when the individuals.
Do you guys need the breakdown? Yeah. Okay.
Mike says that there's an NPG. so-
I have it right here.
Okay.
Oh, you have the NPG?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My name is Ed Arca. I work both at Legion Park and sometimes here at Davis Training Facility. We have basically a breakdown here of what we're requesting. The EVOC stands for the Emergency Vehicle Operation Course. That's what the recruits go through when they're 7 months of training for driving a police vehicle, tactical driving, taking turns, driving through water, braking, things like that. We also do in-service training for our D-block course. So what they're asking is a breakdown here of basically supplies, like a portable jumper starter, because those cars do break down on the track. A compact jump starter, something that's smaller to help its size. 12 pressure gauges, toe straps, heavy duty toe straps, keeper straps, 2 rolls of tapes and reflective tape for safety on the course out there. If you haven't been out to our facilities, you're more than welcome. We'll give you a tour of the emergency vehicle operation course. It looks like kind of like a racetrack. And like Mike said, it's hard for us to get money from the city. And when we do make a request for these type of things, it can take 6 months to a year, even longer, just for basic supplies. So all these 8 items I listed for you will come out to, this is just from Amazon.com that they broke down for me. With tax of $726.74. Those are 8 items totaling, again, $726.74. On the second part, to requesting to have an observation deck built on the track because of the heat, especially when it is summer there. It can be 100 degrees plus a factor of the heat reading from the track itself can bring it to 110 to 115 for recruits entering service. So we're dealing with safety issues there. Basically, we have someone that can build the deck for us with no problem. These are just the supplies we're requesting. I have a breakdown here of the supplies. It's quite a few. I could list it for you here, but if you want to look at it, it's here. But it's totaling $3,703.58. And again, this is an area on our track where we get a lot of sun when we do lectures for recruits or in-service sworn personnel. During the summertime, it does get hot. This area provides them for shade and shelter. So this is what we'd be using it for. Again, we have someone that will do the labor for us, and we can see the supplies that we're requesting for it. That's pretty much it.
You have the MPG there?
Yes.
Is it complete?
It is, yes, sir.
Do you have the IRS letter?
Yes, the letters here.
Let me make a recommendation that you make that available to any board members who want to see it now, or stakeholders.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
Table this for
Unless you table
for a
it.
little while to give everybody a chance to look at it, and then we can bring it back up.
We just asked first, how many people want to see it?
On this one.
Okay, so are we taking the motion?
These 2 people want to see it. 3? While you're looking at that.
I don't want to see it.
Oh, okay. While a couple people are looking at it, why don't we see if anybody else has any comments first?
The only thing is on here, again, as far as the way it's written, this is not finite.
A little louder so we can all hear.
The way the motion is written, it's not finite, it's open-ended, so I would suggest, recommend that we change it so it says for a definite
Whatever that
dollar
amount
figure.
is.
If it's 4,900, right now, the way it reads for up to, it's open-ended.
We do that a lot.
What happens if they spend, what happens though, the reason I think they do that is if they spend $4,900, $50, we're not having to do some kind of change, it's up to.
No,
What do you think?
we can only vote on what's on the NPG, and the total project cost is 4430.32. The reason it was done up to was because at that time, we had not a complete copy of it.
Just amend the NPG or the motion?
You can't amend the NPG,
The
it's what
motion.
they submit.
Gotta amend the motion.
Well, I'll take that as a friendly amendment. What's the exact number off the MPG again?
4430.32.
3-2? 3-2.
Yeah, 32 cents.
Okay, I'll take it as a friendly amendment. Change the motion to 4430.32 dollars and cents. Any other questions or comments?
How about public comment now?
Yeah.
So when you amend a motion, you still gotta get a second from someone on the board to have that discussion to approve that amendment.
I'll second the friendly amendment.
Thank you.
Okay, now we got,
So,
Now you have to, now
okay.
discussion.
All those.
No.
Discussion.
Okay, let's finish discussion, sure.
a public
Okay,
comment.
This is discussion on the amendment.
On the 4,400, anybody got any? Just the amendment.
Any discussion on the amendment?
Now open up the public comment, since there's no discussion.
Okay, I had a couple questions. I just looked at the form. I noticed that you weren't asking for any other neighborhood council. And is the Parker Center in this area, or am I right in, it's near downtown?
It's in our Legion Park Academy, but.
Okay.
It's a Davis Training Center.
So
we're
I'm
talking
kind of
about.
curious, neighborhood councils in general try to keep their funds to those areas within their boundaries and stuff, and hold on, guys, I just want to understand.
It's Davis, it's not downtown.
I know.
It's up here.
It's up here.
Yeah,
It's right here.
Davis Training
This thing
Center
up
is
here
right by
behind the Odyssey?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay?
okay, I'm cool. That's all I want to know. Oh, I support
This hasn't
the
populated,
motion. I support the motion. How's that?
Yeah.
We're only buying the supplies, we're not sharing any liability, it's a build-up or anything like that.
Any other comments?
Yeah, actually, if you are actually giving the money, you're funding the building of it, then they need a release.
Materials.
The materials, the neighborhood council does need a release stating that they're not at all responsible after the materials are turned over to your division for the building, whatever. Because if the materials are purchased with our funds, theoretically, somebody could hold the neighborhood council liable.
All
So
I
there
can
should be a
say
release.
about that is we've never done that for anything else similar.
It won't be, the neighborhood council won't be purchasing materials.
Give it
The money will be transferred to LEPD, and then they'll.
Not
there's
the
a-
Parker Center,
No,
the
that's
nonprofit.
not correct. We are, this is an MPG, we are being asked to provide this money to a foundation, which is a 501c3.
Correct.
They will be doing all the other parts of the.
They assume the liability.
Yeah. It's a grant. Yeah.
Donation, basically.
It's a grant.
It's a grant.
Yeah, same thing.
This is here, yay!
Anybody have any other comments? Hi, Agnes, have a seat.
We were just talking about you.
Let's wait, I'll tell you in a minute.
We have 20 items.
Let's get this over.
No other comments, we'll vote on first the
amendment.
Amendment and then the order. So on the amendment, okay, sorry, yes.
I do have a question. How big is this item that you're building?
I can see the measurements are on there. the other day.
It's just like a shaded area?
Yeah, it's like a shaded area, kind of like a bus stop.
You
Where
were
it's just
having
really
that.
have shade.
Somebody has that.
It's about 16 feet high, 12 by 8 by 12. It's a small area. With the recruits and with the shade.
Is there a possibility of a,
You have a copy of that?
of some kind of plaque of that is being donated, materials were donated by? Because we are a neighborhood council, we are donating funds back to the member of our funds if we utilize it.
Okay.
Is that something?
I'm sorry, you need a plaque?
No, I'm saying, some kind of recognition for the board, if the actual board is actually earmarking that money for you guys, for your donation.
Yeah, we could take
Because that was, am I often asking that, or?
No, Sid, I mean,
I don't think we can get in to see it anyway. It's kind of a restricted area.
He'll give you tours.
Tours, okay.
There's a picture of where it's
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
First gray area there.
Small section. Wrap this up, get this back.
What can you start?
No.
First, we're gonna vote on the amendment, which was to put the exact amount in there of $4,430.32. So we're voting on the amendment only, not on the motion.
okay.
All in-
No, you can't do it.
Well, you're gonna
Funding.
Roll call.
Yeah, funding, so it's gonna be roll call.
Okay. Me, yes. Alfredo?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Wade?
Yes.
Oscar?
Yes.
He's not here. Ralph?
Yes.
Amanda?
Yes.
Ray?
Yes.
Jan?
Yes.
Skylar?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Kyle?
Yes.
13 yeses.
Okay, so that passes. So next on the amendment itself now,
No, the motion.
the motion itself, sorry.
Okay, we'll go.
Motion.
Me, yes. Alfredo?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Wade?
Yes.
Oscar? Ralph?
Yes.
Amanda? Ray?
Yes.
Skylar?
Yes.
Jan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Sid? He's not here. Rob?
Yes.
And Kyle?
Yes.
Same thing.
Okay, that passes. Please tell Michael to come back.
And thank you very much for bringing the rest of the
For
material.
having
You got this.
$4,430.32.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So I'm allowed back now?
Yeah.
You're allowed back.
Thank you.
Take it over.
I'll show you how I feel about that when we get some macadamia activities. I'll show you all. How are you? Nice to see you. Where's your recycle, Bill?
You walk right.
All right, moving on. Ray, what's our next motion?
Okay, next is a motion to approve a neighborhood purpose grant for up to $1,000 for El Oro High School for specialized Lego sets.
First things first. The only thing I have is the motion.
I don't have any paperwork from Donna. Did Donna send any paperwork?
I hate to be the one to do this, but I would recommend we table it.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's gonna go back to city. Okay, that's tabled until next year.
What is it that you need?
You don't have the paperwork, you don't?
This Lego,
Now.
yeah, to vote on. These Legos they have really advanced, like architecture program at that school. And these Legos are special Legos that they can actually build, all the things that.
Yeah. We don't have the paperwork.
Right, so we can't vote on it. All right, motion to approve the following budget adjustments. Operations will be reduced by $1,094.02.
Okay, Mike, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the numbers are going to change again because of the $1,000 and because they were changed with anticipation of these items. So I would recommend that we postpone this till later in the meeting where I can make proper adjustments.
Okay. We'll table that for now.
Make use of the table implies you.
I'm sorry, we'll postpone this until the later time in the meeting. All right, current status of concept to web on our website.
Okay, the concept of web, as everybody may or may not know, is
our
website guy. Why did it leave me? Aaron. The city has made an agreement with Aaron, and we are now going to retain Aaron at a level of $130 per month. He has been caught up already through May, and we only owe for June, which will be paid tomorrow. But I thought it would be good for everybody to know that that issue has been put to bed. Any questions on that?
Nope.
Yes,
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, motion to approve up to $4,000 for CERT kits to be distributed to CERT graduates. We've done this in the past. We rely on Mr. Hopkins to go to his vendors and, Bill, you want to tell them what goes into a CERT kit? And as everybody knows,
a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. The CERT people are the people that, in an earthquake or some huge tragedy, okay, you're going to go look for them because they're going to be able to give you first aid, they're going to be able to help you, they're going to be able to do a lot of things. So why don't you just give them a quick overview.
CERT is Community Emergency Response Team, taught by LAFD personnel. It's a 17.5-hour course, generally spread over 7 weeks. We sponsored several. In Granada Hills, typically we have it up at the Norwood Country Club. We partner with Patriot Community Benefit Trust Fund, which assists in providing us support for rental of that facility as well as refreshments at the end of the course. So the intent, the CERT kits are for those graduates of that course, not other CERT courses, simply the ones that we sponsor. The CERT backpack has, I probably not going to just get it and show you, but it's logoed on the back with both Patriot and our logo, showing that we support CERT, as well as the CERT includes full PPE, personal protective equipment, hat, goggles, vests, the leather palm gloves that you have here, as well as exam gloves, everything but the boots and the clothes. We do also provide a vest, and first aid kit, miscellaneous marking equipment, supplies that are utilized for CERT deployment, and that could be something as simple as a gas leak, for example, a train wreck. CERT has been deployed on all those situations. We also often deploy to assist with hydration and traffic control and wires down and mess of other stuff that happens when it gets windy and dry. So it's a very involved effort. And this helps provide the support for those personnel that contribute that 17.5 hours. The course is free. The time is your own. And it allows our community to be better responsive for anything from small scale up to the 8.1, 8.3 that we're all expecting any minute now. But don't hold your breath.
Ralph is going to bring his in. He's out looking in his trunk for it.
Oh, okay.
Are there any other questions about it? Yeah, Oscar.
I'm just curious, cost wise, how much does each one of these kits cost?
It varies, as prices adjust. Typically, it's in the ballpark of $50, and that's at our price. Retail value is probably closer to $85. I get good deals. And I include some of the free literature as well. Let me see the front of it, Ralph. Yeah, that's one of them, but it's one of the older ones. But yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. Like this, that
talking about the kit, Ralph?
Yeah, no. I'm talking about the kit, mine, just the kit.
You want to show what's in it?
No. Well, I figured it'll take too much time, but if someone's interested, yeah, sure, go take a look. But, so you got marking crayon for indicating who goes into the area when you come out. Like I said, a mini first aid kit, some of the forms that are necessary. And a lot of the material too, I distribute form-wise during the course. So whenever they come, it's material like this that's available for them to take back each day that they come to the course. And we do require that they attend 5 out of the 7 courses with us, so we don't have some, because you can make it up if you miss a class. So we don't have someone from South Central coming up to Granada Hills for 1 day to make up the class and expecting to get a kid. It ain't work that way. Yeah.
What's the difference between the new ones and the one I received?
More logo stuff. It recognizes Patriot Oil in addition
Mention it in the
to neighborhood council.
For another 17 and a half hours, you can get another.
That's right.
Any questions from anybody?
I'm going to raise the same question I did with the prior one.
It's not an MPG,
What's that?
so it's valid.
So this is valid?
Yes.
Stated.
We're paying for this out of our own funds. Hey, Sarge. Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you everyone for having me.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Get some stuff on my table.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
I'm
gonna give you a
All right. Brian?
Okay, we're ready? Lee, yes. Alfredo?
Yes.
Michael?
Yep.
Bill?
Yes.
Wade?
Yes.
Oscar?
Yes.
Ralph?
Yes.
Amanda? Ray?
Yes.
Skylar? Okay. I see it. Head shaking.
Got him right on time.
Jan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Kyle?
Yes.
14, yes. Why is that not right? Is that right? Okay.
Well, Mike,
Oh, that's right, it
roll
was
on the
13.
last one.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, it passes.
Keep going, Ray.
Next.
Where you going?
He's outside talking to
Motion.
Treasury report, right?
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Carried back.
Yeah, did that pass?
Motion passed.
Pass.
Then Brian, May report?
Okay.
Did you say anything?
Everybody was provided the MER, the monthly expense report. Anybody need another copy?
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand.
Wait, I got one.
Well, why don't I just send these around anyway, because there's a little bit additional information. Nothing changed,
Well,
just send these down. And there are reports at the banks today. Most of the expenses that we had pending have been paid, but they were paid in the month of June. Or they were dispersed in the month of June. There's a 3 to 6 day lag period with the bank anyway. As of the end of May, there are a number of, if you look just at the summary, there are a number of items, and to the right of those items you can see what has been paid, what is at the city clerk to be paid, what is to be approved, etc.
what does city clerk mean?
City clerk is who does they handle funding today, and city clerk, certain things city clerk has to handle. We can't handle some things, like making a payment to China. We can't make that payment. We have an issue with our lease, and the lease is not paid. The rent for our office is not paid because the lease has not been approved by the city and gotten back to us. So that is on hold. I have spoken with the city clerk and office, and they are going to pay that out of this year's funds. That's already in their hands to do so. It's just a matter of getting the city to finalize the transaction.
Right. Do you know why?
Huh?
You know why they didn't approve the lease? Not that
We don't
you-
have time to go
you
into
should.
that.
I could give you chapter and verse, but everybody here would get very bored and tired.
And I could give you the name, but Barry would tell him I said so. Even though he's not your,
Well-
even though he's not in your office anymore.
The fact is, he actually is no longer the holdup. It is the management company itself. They're the holdup. But nonetheless, that's just an example of what has to be paid by them. Most of the items we have already paid, and anything we do tonight will be paid tomorrow, for the most part. Other than that, we are currently, at the end of May, we had $14,000 left to spend. And as of the end of June, with the things we're doing tonight, my estimation is that we will give back approximately $1,600 to the city. Yes, Bill?
Senior dance, $500, what was that next year?
I found out over the weekend, because I was at the Aloha Festival. I actually worked the Aloha Festival for another organization. And I found out in talking with the Rec and Park that required an NPG. And that has not been provided. So that is also under discussion. It will not be paid in this year's fund. Any other questions?
Will they be arranged or hold over for us?
They will not hold that one over.
Actually, as far as I'm concerned, this council's done a great job this year of addressing a lot of the needs, and I'm going to bring up something in board comment later, but the fact that we finally got the budgets, as much spent as we did, even though we asked everybody that we wanted to spend everything by April. And again, we're back at the last meeting, last day, and we're still approving things. So next year, let's make sure everything we want to do is into Brian's hands, if he's still the treasurer, by April, so that we can make sure it's all agendized correctly, and if it isn't, we'll have a month or two to get it done correctly. Okay?
What everybody may or may not know again is that everything is changing. And this month, everything is short. We're supposed to spend all our money, but they're not giving us a lot of time to do that. Some deadline is already gone, the next deadline is tomorrow, and the last deadline is the 11th. And from the 11th to the end of the month, there is no possibility of spending any money. All right, so we had to get all of this done as soon as possible, and we have been successful. Any other thoughts, questions? Okay. I guess we.
All right, and now let's try on one of Brian's other hats. Okay.
Well, you want to approve this?